let's turn to treating and getting rid of it.
But what about once you beat cancer? At Legacy, right here in Portland, they wanted to find out if doctors were doing enough to make sure survivors could still become parents. News Channel 8's Kathy Marshall has the results of a recent study and the story of one woman who went all out to protect her fertility.
Reggie, she was diagnosed as a newlywed, and family was as much a priority as surviving the cancer. So she determined early in her treatment what questions to ask her doctor.
It's pretty special, yeah. Yeah.
In a Northeast Portland home, parents of an active toddler appreciate each moment.
She is the joy of her life, you know? I can't imagine it without her.
Her daughter is here because Darcy froze her eggs at Oregon Reproductive Medicine when she was diagnosed with cancer at the age of 25.
It was one of my very first questions. Like, well, how is this going to affect the rest of my life if I have one?
Darcy raised the issue about preserving fertility on her own. At Legacy Cancer Institute, they're now keeping track of whether doctors are educating all patients.
There's nothing that grabs your heart more than somebody who didn't hear about it and then survives and later on thinks, oh, I would love to have children, but now it's not an option.
Doctors should be telling cancer patients about preserving eggs or sperm based on what type of treatment they need.
Mainly patients that are going to get chemotherapy, but it can be affected or impacted by patients who are going to receive pelvic radiation, both men and women.
And each of these straws has 2 eggs, and they can stay frozen almost indefinitely.
With her diagnosis of stage 4 lymphoma, Darcy had just 1 month to preserve her chance to be a mom.
When we retrieved eggs, we got 3. For 3 frozen embryos. And we used them all.
The result was Luna, a reminder of why doctors should discuss fertility options with cancer patients. National studies show 60% of physicians do. A recent Legacy survey showed Oregon doctors doing better.
But we found here with Legacy physicians that it was over 60%, in some instances close to 70% of patients were offered or felt good about the fertility options.
Freezing eggs or sperm is not covered by insurance. Darcy was able to get financial help from the group Fertile Hope.
For me, knowing that we had a future waiting was sometimes as big of a piece of saving my life as the medicine. Thinking about the future for cancer patients is good medicine.
A touching footnote to Darcy's story. She is now 6 months pregnant with her second child. Since she had used all of her frozen eggs, her sister became a donor. So Luna will have a brother or sister that is, come springtime. Reggie?
That is remarkable, and good for her for being an advocate for herself.
And she really wants to tell other patients that there are so many options out there.
Great. Thanks, Kathy.
Thank you.
A real big score for Katie Couric. She just lined up an interview with Notre Dame football star Manti Te'o.
Couric beat out a bunch of other would-be interviewers, including Oprah Winfrey. Te'o wants to set the record straight about that